Thanks, Bob and Lila. Today, a jury convicted 42-year-old Army veteran of capital murder and then immediately began hearing evidence on whether he should get the death penalty or life in prison. Officials say the jury concluded that the sniper suspect used a rifle, a beat-up car, and a teenager who idolized him to murder people at random and terrorize the Washington area. The jury deliberated for 6.5 hours over 2 days before convicting John Allen Muhammad. And in Iraq, U.S. forces fired missiles on Saddam Hussein's hometown of Tikrit. Officials say the U.S. is trying to intimidate the resistance and that 6 alleged insurgents were killed. Also today in Baghdad, a U.S. patrol opened fire on a gun market. Officials say the soldiers heard customers testing weapons and mistook the gunfire for an attack. 3 Iraqis were killed. Also today, 2 U.S. soldiers were killed north of Baghdad. The Associated Press reports the toll of U.S. service members who have died since the beginning of military operations in Iraq now totals more than 400. And in New York, a federal court will rule whether the White House may designate a U.S. citizen as an enemy combatant. Officials say 2 judges of a 3-member panel seem hesitant to accept the Bush administration's reasoning for why Jose Padilla should be held indefinitely without access to a lawyer and without being charged. Padilla is a Muslim and a U.S. citizen accused of plotting with al-Qaeda to detonate a dirty bomb. The 2 judges say the power to designate a U.S. citizen as an enemy combatant rests with Congress rather than the president. The 3rd judge says the war against terrorism requires such moves. And that's World Watch for tonight. Back to you.
All right, Olivia, thank you very much for that. And now turning to headlines around California, the search continues for 19-year-old David Garcia, who's suspected of killing a police officer. Matthew Pavlica was the first member of the Burbank force killed in the line of duty in more than 8 years. In Riverside, a man has been arrested in the death of a local teen. Paul Anderson of Ontario, along with another man from Upland, was taken into custody in Yucaipa on murder charges. Officials say the victim, a 19-year-old woman, was run over while trying to stop a car thief. And in Vista, 10 people were arrested and 5 pounds of heroin was seized in a crackdown on local gangs. The seizures capped an 18-month investigation, and that's a look at California headlines for this Monday.